Hi, everybody. I want to talk about a movie I saw last night, actually. And for a timeline, it was made in 1995. It stars Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman, and also Peter Gallagher and Peter Boyle, and a lot of people, actually. And the person who played the judge in Liar Liar is in here, too, as Sandra Bullock's boss. So, I'd say all-star cast. Okay, as usual, I got to this one late because it came out when I was 13, and last night was the first time I watched it. So, yeah. All right. So, this would go under the romantic comedy and sort of Christmas fare all rolled into one. Okay. I don't know. Well, obviously, I'm gonna say spoiler alert just in case. But also, I was saying I don't know because I don't know if I believe the plot. Um, because okay, she plays a girl named Lucy, and she works for the transit, like a train station. But she's the one who gives you the token to go on the train, and she fell in love with a guy, Peter, played by Peter Gallagher, she had never talked to before. Now she sees him on a daily basis, but never spoke to him. So I don't think that you can be in love with somebody until you speak with them. But that's just me. Okay. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit and say that how they met is that he got in front of the train unknowingly, and she pushed him out of the way and saved his life. So then um, she says under her breath, "Oh, and I was going to marry him." So a nurse says, "Oh, she's his fiance. She's his fiance." So then the family, led by Peter Boyle, comes bursting in the door. And imagine like a big Catholic family. You know the type. Everyone knows what everyone's doing. Grandma's involved, aunt, uncle, godfather, godparents, all of that, right? Okay, so then imagine being told that your son has a fiance that you've never met, never heard of, all the things, right? So, of course, she keeps the ruse up because now the grandmother is supposed to have heart problems. So, everyone's afraid that if she gets shocked, she'll pass away, right? So, Sandra Bullock has to keep the ruse up, the ruse up, the ruse, right? Okay, meanwhile, she does fall in love with um, Bill Pullman, Jack, his brother, of course. And so their feelings are growing at the same time, but she doesn't know. She didn't, okay, number one, she didn't tell him that they're not engaged, right? Number two, he doesn't tell her how he feels because he thinks she's engaged to his brother, right? You see the problem here? Okay. So then, okay, then here's the other part. The godfather, his godfather, hears her talking to him because he's in a coma and says, "I've never been engaged. I don't know what I'm doing." So he hears all that. So it's up to him. He could tell them at any time that she's telling lies, but he's like, I'll tell them in the right way. I'll tell them in the right way. Well, suffices to say that he doesn't tell them, tries to convince Peter to fall in love with Lucy. He kind of does fall in love with her, but not really. And Jack and Lucy do fall in love the way you're supposed to. And then what happens is the day of the wedding, um, first of all, she's late, which is never a good sign. I mean, I know they say that they're supposed to wait for the bride, but it's kind of customary. You're not supposed to be late for your own wedding. Okay, but she's late. Then she says, "I object," meaning she doesn't want to get married to him. And then she tries to explain to Peter Boyle and the rest of the family, "I'm in love with your son." And they say, "Yeah, I know." And then she says, "No, not him, the other one, Jack." And they, oh my God. Okay, so that gets blown up because. And then I'd say about a month later, this is the final scene, kind of, or the scene before the final scene. Bill Pullman goes up to the counter and says, drops not a coin, a wedding ring, engagement ring, in the slot. She sees it and says, "What? What is this about?" And he's like, "Please marry me." And then he says, in front of his whole family, okay? And then also he says, "Can I come back there?" And she's like, "If you have a token, yes." So then he buys a token and then proceeds to propose again in a little private, but still in front of the whole family. So then she says yes. So then everybody cheers. And the last scene is them on the back of a train going to Italy. Because also part of the movie is she always wanted to, she has a passport, but she doesn't have any stamps. So she always wanted Italy to be her first stamp in the passport book. So, and then also it ties in with the first scene where she says, "Somebody who loves you, you feel like they gave you the world." So, like her husband kind of gave her the world, with the trip. So, it's all cute and everything. But what I'm saying is, I don't know about believability because I've liked people I don't talk to, but I've never ever said I'm in love with someone before I talk to them. Never. Now, I've said after two conversations, I really like them, but never in love. So, I don't know. But, like I said, if you want to be nostalgic and you like holiday movies anytime, this might be up your alley. So, check it out. All right. Bye, everybody.